natural wines?
Yeah, Adorn Natural Wines, ARDOR.
Okay, Adorn.
Yes.
Nice. Let's talk about it. You've got a brick and mortar space.
Yes, I do. Just opened up, 729 Southeast Morrison Street. It's a shared space with a women's boutique, a female inspired, all-female designer boutique. And we're in the back and they're in the front. And we share the space at 729
Awesome.
Southeast Morrison.
So there's a certain portion of your title, natural wines.
Yes.
Can we delve into that?
Yes, please. What would you like to know?
I've never heard that term before. Like, are all wines not natural?
No. Most wines are made conventionally, and that means it's conventionally farmed, lots of use of pesticides, herbicides, all those sorts of things in the vineyards, which can get on the grapes, can get into your wine. Additionally, in the cellar, once you harvest the grapes and you go to crush them and make them into wine, there's all sorts of manipulation to the wine that you can do. Over 100 different things you can add to the wine, all kinds of things of taking it away. You can really craft the thing and concoct it in a very food sciencey sort of way, which makes it a very unnatural product as opposed to natural wines. So natural wines are the antithesis of that.
Okay.
It's farming organically or biodynamically or some sort of combination of the two, and that means no herbicides, no use of pesticides in the vineyards. Any fungicides you do are naturally derived, like sulfur, elemental sulfur, which is dug up from the ground and sprayed on it, and that's sort of a natural anti-fungicidal, stuff like that. So everything that's going on in the vineyard is natural, and it's, you're worried about not only the health of the people who are consuming it at the end product, but it's the people who are working in the vineyards, as well as the biodiversity in the vineyard. You want to create a space and a piece of land that's living, not dead, and it's the opposite of conventional in that way. And then once you get the grapes into the cellar, it's really all about not adding or taking anything away. So the winemaking is all about decisions you want to make about how long you want to leave it on the skins or macerate, or when you want to do those sorts of things. But it's not about altering any of the chemistry, adding anything to the wine, or taking really anything away. And it's a really pure expression of the grapes grown on that vineyard in that part of the world in that year.
So like true essence of like the terroir and like the farm in which it's coming from.
Yes. And it's the purest expression you can get of wine.
Awesome. So I would imagine like there are dynamic variances that happen when you produce natural wine.
Yeah, so you get a different product because it is agriculture, and everything you do in farming varies from year to year. You know, whether you have a hot year or a cold year, whether it's wet, whether you get lots of hail and damage the fruit or something like that. It all affects these sorts of things. And if you are doing it in a conventional way, you can kind of take all those things and then add all kinds of things and reconstruct the same thing every time. It's like making Coca-Cola or making a Cheeto. But when you're doing natural wine, you are going to get really something that's expressive of that year and of that thing. And so that's part of the fun about it. It's not only just like the grape variety, but it's who's growing it where and what was the year like? What did it deliver to you? And that's like really...
And that's what we're really looking for when we're drinking expensive vintage wines. Like we're looking for the expression or like the conditions of the year, and let's say 2010. Or
what I'm offering is not just expensive vintage wines. It's really about everyday drinking wines, and it's the things that you want to indulge on, have on your dinner table, or you're out at a picnic, or just for the heck of it, because you come home and you want to like have a glass of wine or something like that, and it should be really thought of as anything else. It should be incorporated, I think, in a way that we incorporate all kinds of other food into our lives. And it's not a really posh, expensive, snooty thing. It's an everyday kind of thing that you should be just really, like I said, incorporating into your everyday. Going about things.
Tell me about, so you're curating some of these wineries.
So the thing is, natural wine is a very, very small niche within the wine market because most of wine is made conventionally. It's made in large scales. Every one that we have is small scale production farmers and vintners that are really passionate about what they do and care about the land and stewardship of the land and the environment and the things that they're doing. So it's here in Portland, you have to, as a retailer, you have to buy everything from a distributor who gets it from an importer and stuff like that. So what we have to do is go through all the various distributors and pick out the one or two guys or a couple guys here or there, or women that are making natural wines, and then we come together and bring them all together in one place, so that when you walk into Ardor, you know that every bottle on the shelf is a bottle of natural wine. You don't have to do any of the legwork or any of the guesswork, and you just have to focus on, okay, what is it that I want? Do I want sparkling wine, or do I want white wine? Do I want something crisp and fresh, or I want something deep and structured? All those sorts of things you can worry about, not like what's in my wine. You don't have to worry about carcinogens, you don't have to worry about any of those sorts of things.
Right. You were mentioning the first time we talked about, like, the Food and Drug Administration actually does not monitor the wine industry.
That's the thing. It's really hard for people to know what's in their wine, because when you go to the grocery store, most things you just take and you can turn around and it tells you exactly what's in it. But wine's not like that. If you ever turn over a wine bottle, you notice that there isn't a list of ingredients. You have no idea what's in it.
Yeah.
And so that makes it particularly hard for people who are conscientious about what they put into their body and the types of things they want to consume. You have no idea, and they're not required to disclose. And so that's where we come in. I mean, I've spent like a vast majority of my life like learning about this. You know, I work in winemaking. I do viticulture. I've been drinking wine for a long time, and I have just an intimate knowledge of all these sorts of things, and do a lot of research, and just been involved in the whole scene. And so I know these things, but I also know that most people don't have the time or the effort or the ability to discern that and to do all of the legwork that it takes to do that. And so that's what I and my business partner do for everyone, and we curate it into a selection. We have currently over 250 different bottles of natural wine from all over the world, from local to far-flung places, all kinds of grapes, from the things that you most recognize like Pinot and Chardonnay to really obscure varieties that you've never even heard of. They're all different, they're all fun, they can go anywhere from inexpensive to expensive depending on what you want, but really it's about taking away the pretense of wine and just really getting in there and learning about it and enjoying it and having a great time.
Yeah, and on that note, you've brought some wine.
Yeah, so I brought something, just, you know,
let me move this awkward hotel phone.
So this is a natural wine. It's an Italian wine from a young winemaker. It's from Emilia-Romagna in the northern part of Italy. He's a natural producer. And this is made, it's a sparkling wine, but it's not made like champagne. It's in the older style, the Method Ancestral, also called Pétillant Natural, or Pet Nat for short.
Is that like a yeast, different
so
yeast
the
strains,
thing is, the idea is that you take the wine, you crush the grapes, you let it start fermenting naturally, sort of spontaneously, and then as it's fermenting before it's done, you bottle it before it finishes fermenting, and you put a crown cap on it like this, like a beer bottle, and you let it finish fermenting in the bottle, and inside the bottle it traps the CO2, and that carbonates the wine.
Nice.
And so then when
bottle conditioned
natural wine.
Yes. Oh man, I'm excited for this.
So
guys, I'm a server, and one of the most awkward things is opening the bottle at the table. So cheers to you, Victor, for doing this on the show.
And for a bottle cap, like I said, this is unpretentious wine. It's really made for just enjoying here in the moment. And so, as you can see, it's sparkling. It's kind of cloudy. It hasn't been filtered or messed with in any sort of sense.
Like a lot of effervescence coming out of the bottle. Immediately.
And this is all done naturally, just through just natural, spontaneous processes that happen.
Cheese and charcuterie plate. This smells amazing.
Oh yeah. So, and
cheers.
You don't have to drink it like this. I mean, oftentimes you drink it from wine glasses, or when I'm with my friends and we're just hanging out. I mean, straight from the bottle is how we do it.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So cheers to
man.
natural wines.
To natural wines. Yeah, and anybody else who wants to try some, please feel free. I'll pass it around.
Cheers to that.
How about the musician? And then,
So, once again, tell us about the location of your winery.
So we're in the inner southeast, the old sort of industrial part. It's 729 Southeast Morrison Street. It's It's a mixture of businesses, um, um, from industrial businesses to retail businesses to a little bit of people living there. Yeah, it's right off of I-5, off the Morrison exit. It's right off the Morrison Bridge, just on the east side of Grand Avenue.
And do you have pretty simple business hours? Are you open?
Yeah,
7
so
days a week?
we're not 7 days a week right now. We just opened our first full week of. We had a soft opening. This just over a week ago, and then my business partner got married this weekend, so that took away that. And we're like officially open starting Wednesday. We're going to go Wednesday through Sunday for now, 2 to 8 during the weekdays, so people can stop by after work. Plenty of time to grab stuff if they want to. The weekends, it's Saturdays 12 to 8 and Sunday 12 to 6. So
I'm so happy we caught you early for this interview. One more thing, your social media.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously website, adornnaturalwines.com. And we mostly do stuff on Instagram. So if you follow us, we're always posting wines, stuff that's in our wine club, cool things that we have. We're really all about Instagram more than anything because it's a really good way to like visually express and to put words to things we're doing.